Chosen one. November 22nd is not just another day, it is a spiritual checkpoint, a powerful test designed to separate those who are aligned from those who are distracted. The energy on this day is sharp, reactive, and transformative. It can either push you directly into your miracle or pull you completely off your path, and it all comes down to 6 critical actions you must avoid. If you've felt a shift within yourself, a strange pull, or a growing sense that something major is approaching, that is no coincidence. It means your spirit is preparing for a breakthrough. The universe tests the chosen ones on November 22nd. It measures your patience, your discipline, your intuition, and your emotional alignment. Every thought, every decision, and every word you speak carries weight. One wrong move can delay your blessing. One right choice can accelerate it. Most people fail this test because they do not see the energetic traps in front of them. But you, chosen one, are being prepared to pass. I'm about to reveal the 6 things you must absolutely avoid on November 22nd if you want your miracle to arrive. These 6 actions are the exact energetic mistakes that block blessings, create delays, and sabotage breakthroughs, even when people don't realize it. Type, "I'm ready" in the comments right now, chosen one, to align your energy with this message. Your breakthrough begins the moment you understand and act on it. Chosen one, the shift starts now. Let's go. The first and most dangerous test on November 22nd is the test of doubt. It arrives quietly. It arrives invisibly. It arrives in the most subtle ways, often disguised as overthinking, fear, or exhaustion. But make no mistake, energetically, doubt is the single most destructive force standing between you and your miracle. It appears right before something major is about to shift in your life, right before the blessing arrives, right before the universe releases what it has been preparing for you behind the scenes. This is why so many people collapse energetically right before a breakthrough. They misinterpret the stillness. Because when a blessing is close, the universe often becomes silent. There are no signs, no synchronicities, no confirmations, no intuitive nudges, just an almost uncomfortable stillness in the air. For most people, this silence feels like abandonment. They assume something went wrong. They assume their prayer was ignored. They assume the universe changed its mind. But the truth is far more powerful and far more divine. This silence is the final phase before manifestation. It is the universe rearranging things, shifting timelines, aligning opportunities, moving people, closing doors that no longer match your destiny, preparing the space for something better, bigger, and more aligned. This silence is your spiritual delivery room. The problem is that the mind hates silence. The ego hates uncertainty. The human part of you hates waiting without proof. And that's when doubt slips in. On November 22nd, the energetic field becomes highly sensitive. Your emotions, thoughts, and intentions expand rapidly. Every thought carries weight. Every belief creates momentum. Every moment of mental weakness becomes a ripple that can disrupt your manifestation. Even a tiny seed of doubt, a single thought like, "Maybe it won't happen for me," acts as a leak in your spiritual container. Picture your miracle as water filling up a vessel. For months, the universe has been pouring into it. Guidance, signs, lessons, growth, alignment. The container is nearly full. You are right on the edge of overflow. You are at the final drop before the breakthrough. You are closer than you have ever been. But doubt pierces that container. It doesn't matter how close you were. It doesn't matter how much the universe poured in. It doesn't matter how much progress you made. One hole can drain everything. This is why doubt is so dangerous, not because it questions the universe, but because it weakens the energetic structure required to receive the miracle. So on November 22nd, you must remind yourself of a truth that only spiritually awakened souls understand. Silence is not denial. Silence precedes delivery. Just like the world becomes quiet before the sunrise, your journey often becomes quiet before the breakthrough. When doubt begins to whisper, you must not let it grow. You must not entertain it. You must not feed it with overthinking or fear-based reasoning. Instead, you must respond with power. You must stand firm in your knowing. You must talk back to doubt like someone who understands their spiritual rank. Say to yourself, "My blessing is closer than ever." The silence means alignment, not rejection. The universe is working in my favor. I will not sabotage what is meant for me. Because here is the truth. The miracle arrives exactly after the moment you think it never will. That moment, the one where you feel tired, discouraged, or ready to give up, that is the final energetic threshold right before everything shifts. November 22nd is the day you must protect your faith like it is oxygen. Guard your belief like it is a priceless treasure. Hold your vision like it is the blueprint of your future. Do not allow your mind to drift into fear. Do not allow old patterns of doubt to pull you back into a lower timeline. Do not allow temporary silence to convince you that nothing is happening. Everything is happening, just not where your eyes can see. On November 22nd, the universe asks only one thing of you. Choose faith even when nothing makes sense. Because the moment you stay steadfast, the moment you refuse to waver, the moment you stand tall in your conviction, that is when the breakthrough finally arrives. On November 22nd, the universe begins preparing your energy for something bigger, something you may have prayed for, something you may have quietly believed was impossible. But before a miracle enters your life, the universe performs an energetic clearing. It removes what cannot coexist with the blessing that's coming. And this clearing often takes the form of old emotions resurfacing. Suddenly, without warning, memories you haven't thought about in months or even years begin rising to the surface. Past relationships you thought you moved on from. Betrayals you believed were fully healed. Moments of rejection, abandonment, loss, and disappointment that you buried just to keep moving forward. It might seem random, but it is not. This resurfacing is intentional. It is a spiritual test wrapped inside an emotional trigger. On November 22nd, the universe is asking you one question. Are you still emotionally tied to the past you keep claiming you've outgrown? Because you cannot walk into a miracle while holding hands with an old wound. You cannot enter a new timeline with the emotional weight of the last one. You cannot receive what's meant for your future if your heart is still stuck in yesterday. The emotional trap on November 22nd is subtle yet powerful. A memory appears, and you have a choice. Do you revisit the wound and let it take over your energy again? Or do you look at the memory and finally say, "This no longer defines me"? Most people fail this test. They spiral into old stories. They replay old conversations in their mind. They question why someone hurt them, whether their past meant more than their present, or whether they should have done something differently. But chosen ones, those who are truly aligned with their higher purpose, pass the test by refusing to pick up what the universe has already asked them to set down. On November 22nd, You may feel heavy for no apparent reason. You may feel emotional without understanding why. You may experience a wave of sadness or frustration or nostalgia and think something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Everything is releasing. What you're feeling is emotional detox. It is the spiritual equivalent of clearing a clogged pipe. All the energy that has been stuck, suppressed, or quietly lingering in the background begins to move out of your system. But here's the critical part. This release only happens if you don't cling to it. If you attach yourself to the memory, the emotion stays. If you reopen the wound, it bleeds again. If you re-identify with the pain, you re-enter the timeline where that pain existed. Your miracle cannot find you if your energy is tangled in the past. On November 22nd, the universe is not trying to hurt you by bringing up old emotions. It is trying to free you. It is trying to lighten your energetic load so your blessing can reach you faster. It is trying to show you the final thing that still needs to be released before your breakthrough takes shape. This day is a turning point. It is the moment where you choose your future over your wounds. It is the moment where you stop feeding what was and begin nurturing what will be. Let November 22nd be the day you declare, "My future matters more than my pain. My destiny is worth more than my history." Because when you stop giving your energy to the wounds of yesterday, you create the space your miracle has been waiting for. And the moment the past loses its power over you, the future finally becomes clear enough to enter. On November 22nd, the universe does something very specific. It reveals people's true intentions, not through their words, but through their energy. Not through what they say directly, but through what they suddenly trigger inside you. This is the day when you will see, sometimes clearly, sometimes subtly, who is aligned with your elevation and who is threatened by it. Pay close attention to who suddenly drains your energy, who unexpectedly creates conflict, who criticizes you out of nowhere, who provokes you with sharp words, or who shifts their tone as if they're trying to pull you into an argument. This is not coincidence. This is not random human behavior. This is spiritual interference. On November 22nd, when your energy is rising, when you're close to a breakthrough, when your vibration is climbing higher, energy disruptors begin to appear. These individuals don't need to do anything dramatic. Their influence is subtle, yet destructive. They show up with sarcasm disguised as advice, with complaints disguised as conversation, with fear disguised as caution, with insecurity disguised as concern. But their energy reveals the truth. They are trying to pull you back into the version of yourself that no longer exists. The universe is watching, and it's asking you a question that every chosen one must answer. Can you stay aligned when the world tries to misalign you? Because here's a reality most people don't understand. Your breakthrough doesn't only expose your strength, it exposes other people's discomfort. Some people sense that you're shifting, even if they don't understand how. Some can feel your elevation, even if they never saw the steps you took to get here. Some notice your glow, even if they don't know the darkness you had to walk through to earn it. And your growth threatens them. Your confidence magnifies their doubt. Your healing reminds them of their unhealed wounds. Your potential exposes their stagnation. Your elevation reveals their refusal to rise. So they try, consciously or unconsciously, to bring you back down. On November 22nd, you must protect your energetic field as if your destiny depends on it, because it does. This is not the day to argue with negativity. This is not the day to explain yourself. This is not the day to justify your decisions, your dreams, or your transformation. This is not the day to let someone else's insecurity dilute your clarity. The moment you engage with negativity, even for a second, you give it permission to shape your energy. The moment you defend yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you, you waste spiritual currency. The moment you absorb someone else's fear, you weaken your own faith, and your miracle is too close for that. On November 22nd, if someone tries to provoke you, walk away without looking back. Their goal is not resolution, it's disruption. If someone tries to guilt trip you, ignore it. Their guilt is just a reflection of their inability to grow. If someone tries to discourage you, reject it immediately. Their fear has nothing to do with your destiny. If someone tries to lower your vibration, protect your peace like it's a sacred space. Chosen one, not everyone around you wants to see you rise. Some want access to your energy without supporting your elevation. Some want your light, but resent the fact that they cannot generate their own. Some want your strength, but have no intention of building their own. And November 22nd exposes all of it. This is your spiritual boundary test, not to see how well you can fight, but how wisely you can conserve your energy. Not to see whether you can respond, but whether you can maintain your vibration by refusing to be pulled into unnecessary battles. Your miracle is not meant to be influenced by someone who does not understand it. Your breakthrough is not meant to be evaluated by someone who hasn't done the work you've done. Your destiny is not meant to be shaped by someone who has already chosen to stay stagnant. On November 22nd, stand firmly in your truth. Protect your energy without hesitation. And remember, your miracle is too close to let anyone dim the frequency required to receive it. On November 22nd, the universe presents you with one of the most subtle yet powerful spiritual tests, the test of divine timing. This is the moment when your patience, your trust, and your inner stability are examined at a much deeper level than usual. And this test appears right when you are closest to your breakthrough. As the energy builds, the illusion of stillness becomes louder. You may feel like nothing is happening, like your prayers are going unanswered, like your manifestation has stalled. But this illusion is just that, an illusion. It is not a sign of delay, it is not a sign of denial, and it is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It is a spiritual checkpoint designed to see whether you will trust the process or try to control it. This illusion of nothing is happening makes many people panic. They start pushing. They start trying to control outcomes. They make impulsive decisions. They force conversations, force opportunities, force clarity, force timelines. They begin pressuring the universe instead of aligning with it. But desperation energy repels miracles. It sends a clear message to the universe that you don't trust what's already unfolding behind the scenes. And on November 22nd, the universe is asking you one powerful question. Can you trust divine timing, even when your mind is hungry for results? This question separates those who are spiritually prepared from those who are not, because the truth is simple and yet difficult for the human mind to accept. If you force something on November 22nd, you disrupt the natural timing of your blessing. Your miracle is already in motion. The energy is already aligning. The doors are already shifting. The opportunities are already forming. But if you chase the miracle, it moves further away. If you rush the process, you slow the outcome. If you force the timing, you delay the manifestation. This is the paradox of manifestation. When you trust, things accelerate. When you force, things delay. Your energy on November 22nd is the determining factor. The universe does not respond to pressure. It responds to alignment. It does not respond to anxiety. It responds to certainty. It does not respond to force. It responds to openness. On this day, remind yourself, you don't need to push. You don't need to chase. You don't need to rush. You don't need to beg the universe for what is already yours. You are not operating on human time. You are operating on divine time. And divine timing is perfect. The universe is not late. Your blessing is not lost. Your miracle is not cancelled. Your pathway is not blocked. Everything is being aligned, slowly, quietly, intentionally, beautifully, behind the scenes. You may not see the movement, but the movement is happening. You may not hear the progress, but the progress is real. You may not feel the shift yet, but the shift is being prepared for you. On November 22nd, the universe wants you to stop trying to control the flow and trust the flow instead. Be still. Let things unfold naturally. Allow energy to settle, instead of trying to bend it to your will. Allow timelines to align, instead of pushing them to move faster. You are not required to force anything. You are only required to stay open. The breakthrough will not come through tension. It will come through surrender. The miracle will not come through pressure. It will come through alignment. Your blessing will arrive exactly when it is meant to. Not a second early, not a second late. On November 22nd, your faith in divine timing becomes the key that unlocks everything waiting for you. On November 22nd, something rare happens inside you. Your intuition doesn't whisper, it echoes. It becomes sharper, bolder, louder than at any point this month. And for the chosen ones, this is not just a feeling, it is a spiritual signal. On this day, you may notice sudden shifts within yourself, a weird pull towards something, a strange push away from someone, a quiet inner voice telling you to slow down, wait, move, or decide. Not because you're anxious, not because you're imagining worst-case scenarios, but because something within you already knows what your mind is not yet ready to understand. Intuition is your soul's intelligence. It is the part of you that sees the unseen, hears the unspoken, and senses what logic can't reach. And on November 22nd, the universe amplifies that inner intelligence. This is not a normal day. Energetically, it acts as a bridge, a portal, between the life you are leaving behind and the life you are stepping into. Your intuition becomes the translator between both worlds. It shows you what is aligned and what is not, what is safe and what is dangerous, what is yours and what is a trap. But here is the real test, the one most people fail. Your intuition will guide you, but it will not explain itself. It won't give you facts. It won't hand you proof. It won't present a logical argument. It simply knows. And that is why so many people ignore it, because they want confirmation before they follow it. They want signs before obedience. They want clarity before movement. But intuition doesn't operate on the human mind's schedule. It operates on divine timing. On November 22nd, you will feel a strong internal push and pull. Something inside you will say, this person isn't right for you. This opportunity is meant for you. Don't take that call. Don't walk into that room. Say yes. Say no. Wait. Move. Trust what you're feeling. And the question is, will you listen? Because ignoring your intuition on this specific day can cost you more than you realize. It can lead you into delays. It can push you toward the wrong people. It can blind you to hidden danger. It can pull you off your path. It can block your blessing. It can mute the miracle that is already aligning for you. Intuition is protection. Intuition is direction. Intuition is divine intervention, disguised as a feeling. If something feels off on November 22nd, trust that feeling immediately. Don't argue with it. Don't negotiate with it. Don't explain it away. If a person suddenly feels different to you, pay attention. Your spirit sees what their words are hiding. Your energy detects what their energy is revealing. If a decision feels heavy, don't force it. Your intuition is warning you that the path is wrong. If something feels peaceful, even if it makes no logical sense, trust the peace. Peace is your soul's way of saying, "This is safe." Chosen one, your intuition will not whisper on November 22nd. It will shout. It will ring in your chest. It will vibrate in your stomach. It will tug at your spirit. The universe does not want you walking blindly. It wants you guided. It wants you aligned. It wants you protected from the distractions, traps, and false paths that appear when you are close to a breakthrough. One intuitive decision on this day can redirect your entire destiny. One intuitive moment can position you perfectly for the miracle that is trying to reach you. One intuitive yes or no can shift the entire trajectory of your life. So, on November 22nd, silence the noise and listen inward. Ignore the crowds, ignore the opinions, ignore the doubts, ignore the overthinking. Your inner voice knows the way forward. Follow it, without explanation, without hesitation, without fear. Because your intuition is already connected to the miracle you're seeking. Let it guide you directly toward it. On November 22nd, the universe becomes incredibly sensitive to the words you speak. Your voice isn't just communication today, it is creation. It carries energetic weight, magnetic intention, and the power to shift timelines instantly. On this day, your words don't just describe your reality, they shape it. Most people don't realize how dangerously powerful their speech becomes when spiritual energy is heightened. They speak casually, emotionally, carelessly. They release negativity without realizing every word is a command, and the universe obeys. But you, chosen one, cannot afford that mistake on November 22nd. This is the day when your emotions amplify your language, your intentions intensify your vibration, your words accelerate your manifestation, which means anything negative you speak becomes destructive. If you speak fear, you attract experiences that reinforce fear. If you speak lack, you align with situations that create lack. If you speak limitations, your path tightens and opportunities close. If you speak doubt, your blessing slows down. If you complain, you magnetize more things to complain about. If you declare defeat, you plant seeds of failure into your future. Your mouth becomes a portal. Your voice becomes a tool. Your speech becomes a spell. Every sentence you release is building the reality you walk into. This is why the universe warns you on November 22nd. Do not say, "Nothing good ever happens to me." Do not say, "My miracle is taking too long." Do not say, "I'm tired, I'm stuck, I'm done." Do not say, "Maybe I'm not meant for this." Do not say, "What if it never works out?" Do not say, "I'm losing hope." Because the moment you declare those things, the energy shifts. Your path slows, your manifestation weakens, your timeline dims. Negative language is the fastest way to sabotage your miracle. Not because the universe wants to punish you, but because it responds to the vibration you give it. But here is the empowering truth. Positive language is also the fastest way to accelerate your blessing. When you speak strength, you attract opportunities that grow your strength. When you speak abundance, doors open that align with wealth. When you speak faith, situations shift in your favor. When you speak gratitude, the universe expands the good already forming. When you speak confidence, your energy becomes a magnet for success. When you speak victory, you activate timelines where you win. Your words set the tone. Your voice sets the direction. Your language sets the frequency of your miracle. On November 22nd, the universe is listening, not to your wishes, but to your declarations. If you say, "I am ready," everything aligns. If you say, "Something good is coming," energy rearranges. If you say, "I trust the process," resistance fades. If you say, "My miracle is already on the way," the timeline speeds up. If you say, "Everything is working in my favor," the path becomes clear. If you say, "I am chosen," your blessing recognizes you. This day is not asking you to pretend everything is perfect. It is asking you to choose language that supports the reality you want to build. You must speak from your higher self, not your wounded self. Speak from faith, not fear. Speak from clarity, not emotion. Speak from the future you're stepping into, not the past you escaped. Because on November 22nd, your miracle is sensitive to your voice. It listens to the tone of your belief. It follows the direction of your intention. It responds immediately to the words you release. Chosen one, your speech is not small on this day. It is the steering wheel of your destiny. So speak only what you want to see. Declare only what you want to receive. Affirm only what you want to experience. Your voice is creating your future, word by word, moment by moment. Do not sabotage it with negativity. Build it with power. Build it with certainty. Build it with the language of the miracle that is already trying to reach you. Chosen one. Now you understand what November 22nd truly is. It's not just a day on the calendar. It is a spiritual checkpoint, a powerful energy test, and a moment when the universe is watching your alignment. Every thought, every word, every action counts. Every decision you make either draws your miracle closer or pushes it further away. This is why the 6 things we covered today are so critical. Doubt, old wounds, negative influences, forcing outcomes, ignoring your intuition, and speaking negativity. These are not small mistakes. On this day, they carry enormous weight. The universe tests you because it knows your potential. It knows what you are capable of. And it wants to see if you are ready to receive the blessing that is already moving toward you. Remember, chosen one, miracles are not random. They do not appear because of luck. They manifest when energy aligns, when faith is unshakable, and when your vibration matches the frequency of your blessing. November 22nd is your opportunity to step fully into that alignment, to protect your energy, to trust your intuition, to speak and act from a place of power and faith. So today, make a choice. Make the conscious decision to honor your path, to let go of fear, to refuse negativity, to trust divine timing, to speak only what supports your miracle. Because one aligned choice, one small act of faith, can change the trajectory of your life completely. The universe is ready to deliver, but it responds to your vibration. Chosen one, hold your energy, protect your faith, guard your focus, speak your miracle into existence. November 22nd is your moment. Step into it fully. Your blessing is closer than you think. Your miracle is waiting. Will you meet it?